Extreme heat and the chance of severe storms makes today a WRAL weather alert day. I'll walk you through everything you need to know. Navigating the crowd, 100,000 Caniacs are expected for the Canes Championship Parade. How organizers are asking you to prepare to head to downtown to celebrate. Drought conditions worsening. Water levels are dropping rapidly across the Triangle. How that's affecting water restrictions across the area. We made it to Thursday and a lot to tell you about here on this Thursday morning. We love that you're making us part of your morning routine. We have a weather alert day to talk about. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Lovingood. Yes, a lot to dive into this morning. So let's hand things off to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Not one, but two reasons why today is a WRAL weather alert day.
Yeah, it's the day of the week. You know, we just like to kind of cross off and move on to Friday. But here it is, heat advisory that starts at 11 a.m. and we'll see a peak heat index up to 108. And then late this evening and overnight, we'll have a round of thunderstorms. A few of those could produce some isolated wind damage. Let's talk about the heat first. We'll be in the triple digits by lunchtime today, and then the peak of the heat is mid to late afternoon and lasts well into the evening. Our next weather maker is going to bump up our chance for rain. This is actually, you remember yesterday we were talking about Tropical Storm Arthur. Well, this is the remnants of Arthur, and it's going to merge with a cold front, and both of those together will bump up our chance for rain. At one point, it looked like Arthur may stay too far to the south, but it does look like it's going to bring us a better chance of rain. But it starts fairly late. It'll be after sunset before that rain starts. And then it continues into the day on Friday. Coming up, we'll talk about how much rain we could see in the next 24 hours. Ken?
Elizabeth, we are following some breaking news right now on Ebenezer Church Road. That's the scene of a motorcycle crash that's hit right out to WR's Kelsey Coffey on the scene. Kelsey, what do we know so far?
Ken, we learned just within the last 15 minutes or so, Raleigh Wake 911 is reporting that this crash was deadly. I'll go ahead and step out the way right now so you can get a look at what's left of this scene here. It looks like officers are working to clean this up. They've already taken down the police tape this morning, but you can see the aftermath there of that motorcycle. Now, Ebenezer Church Road is open, but you won't be able to turn on Lease Lane. Forensics was here about 30 minutes ago whenever we arrived on the scene, and officers say this happened around 2:15 this morning. Police say the motorcycle was the only vehicle involved in this crash, so we're working to find out the name of that rider as well as what led up to this crash. So Ken, what can you tell folks in the meantime about their morning commute?
Yeah, the good news is about Ebenezer Church Road. It's in mainly a residential area in terms of that particular roadway, and a lot of people know exactly the alternate routes to get out of the neighborhoods and get onto maybe Glenwood Avenue. So if that changes, if Ebenezer Church Road becomes blocked, I'll keep you posted on alternate routes. But as far as other routes heading into Raleigh, just a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, but all the other routes coming in from Wake Forest, Garner, Johnston County, all delay free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
This morning, Raleigh is getting ready for the Canes Championship Parade.
100,000 people are expected to head downtown Saturday to celebrate the team's Stanley Cup win. WR's Allie Calabar joins us live from Fayetteville Street. And Allie, Caniacs will be heading to Raleigh by plane, train, and bus. They would not miss this.
Oh, yeah, and we're expecting to see a lot of people. I mean, that's an understatement. We're standing right here at City Plaza. This is where that parade comes to an end and where the fan rally takes over. We're expecting to see a sea of red, white, and black. Now, the city of Raleigh says that they're expecting this event to be the largest in the city's history. So a very big deal. So the city is asking people not to drive. If you do, carpool. Several roads will be closed as early as 3:30 a.m. along the parade route. And Raleigh officials also recommend taking Go Raleigh or Go Triangle buses. Route 100 may be the best option for Chapel Hill and Durham riders. And then there are a handful of routes throughout the county that take riders to Moore Square.
Depending upon where you are in the Triangle area, there are a number of routes that will take you into downtown Raleigh and just a short walk, a few blocks down, and you're at Fayetteville Street and Hillsborough Street for the parade.
Yeah, so it just takes you right on there. We're expecting a lot of visitors as well. The Amtrak train routes from Charlotte and Hillsborough, those are already sold out. The parade starts at 11 a.m. Saturday. Reporting live in downtown Raleigh, Allie Kathabar, WRAL News.
And here's a look at the championship parade route for Saturday. It will go down Hillsborough Street, swing by the state capitol, and then go down Fayetteville Street. And the parade ends at Davie Street. A fan rally will happen after the parade in City Plaza. WRAL will have live team coverage of Saturday's parade. We will have crews all over downtown Raleigh, giving you every angle of the celebrations. Our coverage starts at 10:30 a.m. We will carry the entire event live on WRAL, on air, and online.
New this morning, an autopsy report reveals additional details about a February murder at a Raleigh apartment complex. Police found 72-year-old Arthur Upchurch dead in the car near New Bern Avenue. This was back on February 28th. Well, according to the newly released autopsy report, Upchurch died from a stab wound to the left thigh. Investigators say Upchurch's girlfriend, Sandra Hunter, lived at the apartment complex where he was found. Investigators also say video shows Upchurch arriving at the complex with someone else that night and later struggling to get up while someone is hitting him. Since this is all unfolded, Hunter has been charged with Upchurch's murder, and court records show Upchurch pleaded guilty to assaulting Hunter within a few months of his death. He was ordered not to contact her. In April, a judge ordered a $50,000 secure bond for Hunter.
The effects of the ongoing drought conditions are showing up in many ways across our area, and that includes dead fish over at Lake Wilson. Hundreds of dead fish can be seen from the lake's dam. And according to North Carolina Wildlife, this is one of the consequences of an extended drought. However, the concern is that this is happening earlier in the season than normal.
It's going to be a stressful summer for all wildlife. It's going to be stressful for us, too, I think. Anything that needs water is going to be a little bit more stressed out.
Really devastating for wildlife. The good news, Wilson's drinking water will not be affected by the drought at the lake because that is not the city's primary drinking water source.
President Donald Trump says that he has signed off on the peace agreement between the United States and Iran. Video shows the president signing the memorandum of understanding before a dinner with French President Emmanuel Macron. Images released by Iran also shows Iran's president signing this document. As part of the deal, the ceasefire will expand and traffic will begin passing toll-free through the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran will also not procure or develop nuclear weapons. The U.S. is also committing $300 billion toward an Iranian reconstruction fund. An official signing ceremony is expected to be held tomorrow in Switzerland, and Vice President J.D. Vance will be there.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, this just coming down from the Associated Press. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth lashing out at his NATO counterparts, announcing a 6-month Pentagon review of American forces in Europe. He said this will be a real review. It'll be designed to ensure that NATO is moving fast and irreversibly toward Europe leading, stepping up to take primary responsibility for the defense of Europe. Hegseth criticized European allies for failing to provide U.S. forces access to bases in Europe to launch attacks on Iran, calling it shameful. This comes as NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte noted on Thursday that they spent $90 billion more on defense last year, a 20% increase over 2024. So we will continue to follow this meeting in Brussels with Pete Hegseth and NATO.
Kirsten, thank you. Highway Patrol is asking for help identifying the driver in a hit-and-run crash that injured 2 cyclists. State troopers say this man hit them on Highway 751 near Duke Forest on Saturday. Troopers are now looking for the driver and the vehicle, a 1999 Chevy Tahoe with front end damage. The cyclists were hit after the Tahoe crossed the center line traveling north. The cyclists were going south. Both of them were seriously injured. If you have any information, please call Highway Patrol. Their phone number can be found in the story on WRAL.com. A widening project on Aviation Parkway is getting ready to begin. And tonight, people who live and work along that road will learn more about what it means for them. NCDOT says traffic on Aviation Parkway between Chapel Hill Road and I-40 is expected to increase by 50% within the next 25 years. That would be about 24,000 vehicles a day by the year 2050. Property owners along Aviation Parkway will lose space to make room for a wider road. A public meeting will be held tonight at 7 over at the RDU 4 Points by Sheraton.
The man accused of claiming he had a pipe bomb at a Raleigh police substation this month is now facing a federal charge. The DOJ has charged Christopher Carnes with threatening President Donald Trump's life. It says Carnes threatened Trump online and shared a video of what he claimed to be a pipe bomb that he had in his car. Police say Carnes arrived at the substation claiming he had that bomb. Carnes is also facing a separate state charge of perpetrating a hoax on a public building.
Happening today, the town of Zebulon will kick off its 3-day Juneteenth celebration. Tonight, there will be an opening ceremony and an educational program at the Zebulon Community Center, and that starts at 6:30 p.m. This year's theme will be Celebrate and Educate. The Zebulon Juneteenth festivities will wrap up on Saturday with the big celebration at Nomeco Park. School lunch prices. Parents and students in Wake County can expect them to be higher next year. How the school board is trying to prevent more price hikes in the future.
Plus, a special surprise. Actor Will Ferrell will pay a visit to WRAL in the next hour. Why he wants to talk to us this morning.
And it is a WRAL weather alert day. The heat index is going to climb well above into the triple digits, and that's going to happen by the middle of the afternoon. We also have a good chance for some showers and storms later on today that could last into tomorrow. We'll take a look at everything you need to know.
And here's a look at your winning Powerball numbers: 3, 26, 49, 53, 61. The Powerball is 12, and the multiplier is 2.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13 today is a WRAL weather alert day. We have two issues. We have a heat advisory that goes into effect at 11 o'clock this morning. It's going to feel like up to 108 this afternoon. And then this evening and overnight, we have the threat for 1 or 2 storms that could produce some wind damage. Let's start with the heat index. We could be in the triple digits by lunchtime. Matter of fact, look at that, 11 a.m. at 100. Ouch. And then feeling like 106 to 108 through the afternoon. Our chance of rain doesn't really kick in until pretty late in the evening, maybe even closer to midnight. At that point, we'll have the chance of some isolated storms. Now, this could last well into the day tomorrow, so we'll talk about how it could affect your morning commute and how much rain we could see coming up. Ken?
And Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. And speaking of that morning commute, we're going to keep you updated on that incident, that motorcycle crash on Ebenezer Church Road. It's in the 8500 block. If this is part of your morning commute, just know that traffic is getting through there on Ebenezer Church Road. Raleigh police right now in the process of clearing that scene. Raleigh Wake 911 is reporting that the motorcyclist died. We're trying to confirm that with Raleigh police. As for other routes heading into Raleigh this morning, it's short of a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. All the other major routes are delay-free at this hour.
Well, for the 5th year in a row, meal prices are going up in Wake County schools. This fall, students will pay 25 cents more per meal. For elementary students, lunch will now be $4. Middle and high schoolers will pay $4 and $4.25, I should say. And the rising cost has some worried about the effect of struggling families who don't qualify for free or reduced lunch programs.
And that means an increase of 25 cents a day for lunch and 25 cents a day for breakfast. May not mean a lot, but for families that are just over that edge, it's going to be a huge cost burden.
Well, and after all of this, school leaders say the higher prices are needed because of increased food and delivery costs. The board also voted to create a task force to work on limiting future cost increases. A grand opening ceremony for the Obama Presidential Library and Museum will happen today in Chicago, and that's ahead of its public opening tomorrow. This facility will be run by the nonprofit Obama Foundation. Visitors will be able to look at exhibits dedicated to President Barack Obama's political legacy, as well as former First Lady Michelle Obama's public initiatives. The campus will also include an auditorium, a basketball court, and vegetable garden. The Presidential Center will open to the public tomorrow on Juneteenth.
The New York Knicks will hold their championship parade today in New York. The Knicks finished off the Spurs last weekend to claim their first title since 1973. The parade will be along the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan. Security is expected to be tight. Every spectator will be screened by NYPD at various checkpoints along the route.
The Trump administration is buying back leases for 4 offshore wind projects and scrapping them. The government is paying $765 million to cancel the projects. The president has long been a critic of wind power. His administration is instead redirecting funds toward fossil fuel projects. And we've actually seen a move away from wind energy in our state. Duke Energy canceled its project to invest in offshore wind last year. The company cited costs for that. And critics worry the shift from the clean energy, will have consequences.
First responders and health leaders in Durham are warning people about just how quickly a parked car can become deadly. That was the subject of a demonstration yesterday hosted by first responders and Duke Health. The message is cars can heat up quickly when it's this hot outside. While parents forgetting their child in the back seat is a real issue, kids making their way into unlocked cars on their own, that is a common cause for heat stroke deaths.
Of children that lose their lives in cars actually got in themselves and got trapped inside. So leaving your car, making sure that it's locked and that your kids can't get into it will also help protect their lives.
Health experts say early signs of heat illness include flushed cheeks, pale skin, fatigue, and unusual sluggishness. Officials say at least 43 children have died from heat stroke inside cars since 1998.
And this is your reminder that when you're out and about, check your back seat, and not just for children also, but your pets is too. This is very important, folks.
That's right. And it seems like a no-brainer, but people who had never had the intention of that happening
get busy and stuff.
It happens. And so just now's the time to be thinking about it for sure. We do have a heat index that could climb all the way up to 107 or 108 this afternoon, and then this evening and overnight we have a level 1 risk for severe storms. 1 or 2 of the storms could produce some wind damage, and also fire danger for today. As dry and as breezy as it will be, we have high fire danger, so you want to put off any outdoor burning today. We do have some rain on the way. This is great news. We were watching here yesterday. This was Tropical Storm Arthur. It's just the remnants now. It looked like it may bring more rain along the Gulf Coast and mostly miss us, but we've got this cold front that's going to dip down and grab up some more of that moisture and push it in, so we have a better chance for rain. Plus, it looks like it may be a little bit wetter on Monday too, so several chances of rain that we're watching. So this is for today. It's a level 1 risk. Again, pretty late, maybe even closer to midnight. 1 or 2 storms could produce some wind damage, but that potential for rain continues. Starting down here along the Gulf Coast, where they could see a lot of heavy rain, as much as 4 to 8 inches possibly, and then it transfers right up here. Around midnight, you can see some of the rain moving through, and maybe a fairly wet commute tomorrow. Look at that, 5 o'clock, plenty of rain. Moves on out around 9 or 10. Into the afternoon, there could be a few more isolated cells, and then after that, we're going to get a push of some cooler, drier air. So the big heat that we're seeing today will just be for today. This is a look at rain for the next 3 days, and really down here across the deep south, we can see as much as 4 to 8 inches. But now it looks like we'll have a better chance. We add Monday to it, and we can see anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. Much needed rain. Of course, today is Thursday, and the drought monitor comes out usually around 8:30 or 9. We'll take a look at that. But a good chance for rain tonight and tomorrow, and then an additional chance on Monday. So it's nice to have both of those chances. Today is a WRAL weather alert day, again, for that heat risk until 8 p.m. and then that chance of severe storms late for us. Again, that heat advisory goes into effect at 11. Just keep that in mind. Checking the 7-day forecast, at least the first half of Juneteenth may be wet and stormy. And then for Saturday and Sunday, we're dry, a little less humid. Should be pretty good weather for Saturday. For the Canes Parade coming up, we'll talk more about parade time forecast. Temperatures get.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Traffic beginning to pick up quite a bit on that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us, but really moving at a nice, steady clip. That southern loop of the Beltline, we're not picking up any delays whatsoever. And if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, delay-free as well. As for other routes heading into Raleigh, we're just picking up a 1-minute delay coming in from Knightdale. No delays if you're coming in from Apex, you're coming in from Durham and I-40 eastbound, or even from Wake Forest. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Time on the clock is 6:21, and we're talking about the Stanley Cup Tour. The trophy is making appearances all over Raleigh. The popular restaurant added to the Hurricanes victory lap.
On his way, actor Will Ferrell is on his way to hear WRAL, and he is coming in character. His newest project and why it is tied to the Triangle.
Hey, if you see breaking news or have a story, tip, or video of weather where you are, report that to us at WRAL.com/report it.
The Carolina Hurricanes held a celebratory dinner at a Raleigh restaurant, and they brought a guest with them. Bradetto Restaurant posted this on Instagram. The team brought the Stanley Cup to the restaurant at Raleigh Ironworks. And at one point during their visit, Taylor Hall placed his adorable son in the Stanley Cup. The cup has been making its way around the triangle. Its first stop was at a bar on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. And here's a look at some of the cup's journey so far in Raleigh. According to the NHL, every Hurricanes player will get 24 hours with the Stanley Cup. That's a tradition that started back in 1995. Can't wait to see where it pops up next.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Austin Powers 4 and a documentary about the New York Knicks.
Yeah, Ken Smith is here to talk about it this morning. And what's trending?
Yeah, baby. Austin Powers making a return. Mike Myers confirming there will be a 4th movie in the series. Myers recently brought back the character Dr. Evil for a Verizon ad.
So no word on production or release date for the movie. That was good, Ken. It wasn't quite the Jamaican Vader that we had last month.
Star
but
Wars.
That was good. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
If Mike Myers, gets sick, calling Ken Smith. He'll take over.
Oh, Chris Lovinger. So listen, actor, director, and New York Knicks super fan Ben Stiller making a documentary about the team's championship run. On X, Stiller says it will be made with HBO and the production company A24.
Oh, yeah, got to document this incredible journey. Ben Stiller was always courtside during the Knicks playoff run, the first title in over 50 years. Can't wait to see all the behind the scenes, show that emotion. Fans will love it.
It's going to be a popular doc.
Certainly will. All right, let's talk soccer right now. A FIFA World Cup triple header today on Fox 50. Starting at noon, Czechia takes on South Africa, and then at 3, it'll be Switzerland versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. I always butcher that last one there, Renee. The day ends with Mexico and South Korea at 9 p.m. All these games will be on Fox 50.
It's a test of country names every time we got to read the FIFA games. Parade preps. We are just days away from the Hurricanes' big championship celebrations. The work underway to make sure that things run smoothly.
Plus, a new role. Have you ever heard of a golfer named Lonnie Hawkins? How have you not, right? He kind of looks like Will Ferrell. Where are you going to meet him? And he's on the way to WRAL.
And it's going to be a hot one out. Heat advisory kicks in at 11 o'clock and a severe threat overnight. Tonight, we'll talk about our WRAL weather alert day and what you need to know.